And before we start today's issue, I would like to express my position. The main topic of this week is definitely the war in Israel. As they cynically write on Twitter, the war in Ukraine is forgotten. For the first time, instead of the Ukrainian flag, an Israeli flag appeared at the headquarters in New York for the first time after the conflict. But the question is not which war is more important, but what is happening at all, and how to stop the violence. Israel last week faced a terrible attack by Hamas. Terrorists, more than 1,000 people were killed, almost all of them civilians. Many women and children alike. They say the Israeli military is filled with extreme cruelty. But the question is what to do next. Israel responds to Hamas terrorist attacks with a complete blockade of the Gaza Strip and threatens to demolish their capital from the face of the earth. Well, the next news is straight from Tel Aviv. Secretary of State Antony Blinken arrived in Israel on Monday to pledge support for the country as it prepares a major military offensive in Gaza. Blinken met Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and President Isaac Herzog in Jerusalem. He heads to Tel Aviv next to meet with the war cabinet. The visit to Israel, Blinken's second in just a few days, comes after President Biden warned that a new Israeli occupation of Gaza would be a big mistake, one of his firmest efforts to signal restraint to Israel as the humanitarian crisis in Gaza reaches critical levels. About 600,000 people have been displaced from the north of the enclave, aid agencies say. Food and water supplies in Gaza are dangerously low and hospitals there will run out of fuel within 24 hours, the UN Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs said Sunday. Let's change the location and go straight to North Korea. North Korea may be sending arms to Russia for Ukraine war, images suggest. Russian ships linked to military transport networks have collected cargo from North Korea and delivered it to an apparent Russian military port on multiple occasions over the past 2 months. According to new satellite images providing the clearest evidence yet that Pyongyang may be helping Moscow's war effort. The two ships had no record of running this route between North Korea and Russia until August, when high-level meetings between North Korean and Russian officials began, paving the way for Kim Jong-un to meet Vladimir Putin last month. U.S. intelligence assessments at the time suggested that Russia was looking to get North Korean weaponry to replenish its dwindling supplies for the war in Ukraine. White House officials said Friday this now appears to be happening and named one Russian vessel, alleging that North Korea has transported as many as 1,000 containers with equipment and munitions from North Korea to Russia in recent weeks. Let's talk a little about the war in Ukraine. Russian forces are retaining their positions in the zone of the special military operation and are steadily continuing to implement the master plan, Russian Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu said on Monday. Naturally, we continue active actions in the areas where we think we need to reinforce our positions. In general, the situation looks stable. Troops are doing their duty, showing heroism and the conviction that they will be able not only to retain their positions but also continue the implementation of our plans, he said at a meeting with President Vladimir Putin. According to Shoigu, Ukrainian troops have failed to achieve any success during their counteroffensive while Russian forces have improved their tactical positions. The enemy's attempted offensives in practically all areas are rebuffed by our active defense. In many areas, we are improving our tactical positions, preventing the advance of the enemy in any area. We are through with the spring, summer, and fall offensive campaigns that were planned by the Ukrainian authorities. None of them were successful, he said, adding that Ukrainian troops have lost 1,500 armored vehicles during their so-called summer counteroffensive. I hope you were interested. That's it, see you soon.